testify. And if that doesn't happen, I'm going to push for subpoena as well. But I want those lists of names. I want to see the individuals we think are potential predators, and then I want to figure out who covered it up.
Yeah, Congresswoman, I know the Department of Justice says they're going to make these unredacted files available to all members of Congress that seek access to them. Do you worry that Democrats will use that as an excuse to try to trash Donald Trump again? Because we know that they...
I'm so sick of this fucking bullshit, bro. Like, can we just kill all the pedophiles? Like, why don't we just do that? Like, what are we doing? Like, why don't we just kill all the pedophile rapists? Like, why don't we just do... What is the... Like, how is there even an argument about this? Really? Like, I'm so annoyed by this, because it's like, everybody should be on the same page here. We should all be on the same fucking team.
This led the American people about so-called intelligence that they saw involving Russia. What's to stop them from saying, well, these redacted files say this and that about him, and there's no way to prove it otherwise?
Well, they absolutely will. And anything after 2019 is just pure craziness. I'm in an email somewhere that someone randomly, anonymously emailed into the FBI about me and Ron DeSantis about something that happened in 2008. I didn't know who Governor DeSantis was back then. I was pregnant and raising babies, but...
Just because somebody's in the files doesn't mean they're guilty. But man, if they're talking to Jeffrey Epstein all the time about food and shit, like, that's kind of crazy. Maybe you should look into that. That's the way I see it.
So they will use that, and they have done it that way, but also at the same time, we have to show that justice will be done. I'm actually going to participate in an event this week that we just had several people arrested for sex trafficking in South Carolina. And this stuff goes around all over the country. Nobody ever goes to jail. Those who are predators just get to walk free. The rich, the famous, the powerful. You have money or you're in Hollywood. Everyone else is above the law, but the law is for the average American. Well, you go to jail, right? So it's just, you know, the discrepancy in the two-tiered system of justice is what we want to expose. I also want to expose people on both sides of the aisle who covered it up.
Yeah. This morning we've been talking a lot about, you know, people saying, well, we need to obey these laws, but not those laws, you know, picking and choosing what you think is important to you. You've been demanding transparency no matter who's involved. The Clintons now have agreed to testify. You're risking a lot, though, politically by going after some of the high-profile Epstein associates. I mean, there, you know, some names have sort of leaked out there. Has it been worth it?
I can't hear anything.
Uh-oh. Congresswoman?
Okay, I can hear you now. What was the question?
I was just asking about, you know, we've been hearing from a lot of different groups in the country talking about, you know, laws they want to abide by, laws that they don't think they should abide by, you know, especially with ICE and such. But you've been really focused on, you know, taking the gauze away, opening up, you know, to the sunlight. But that is a politically risky move also because of high-profile associates of Epstein's. So I was wondering what you thought had been worth it so far.
Well, I don't...
The whole thing's been worth it. What do you mean? Like, it's the truth. People should know what the truth is. Like, I don't know why, like, people are thinking about this like it's a tool. Like, it's obviously bad. And the thing is, as well, is that anybody who's compromised in these files can no longer be seen as somebody who can run a country who you can trust. Because those people now are compromised in a way that they can't really, like, they can be blackmailed and pressured into doing anything. So their president? Well, I don't know. I mean, that's why I say you got to look into it. Like, I don't think you need to go after people like, what people keep bringing, Trump. That's not the only way I'm looking at it. See, there's people that they don't even give a fuck about this shit. They don't care about the idea. They care about attacking Trump with it. Guys, it's a lot bigger than that. That's literally it, pure TDS. Yeah, unironic Trump derangement syndrome. It's not just that. Of course Trump should go to jail if they find out that there's enough evidence to convict him of something. Duh. No shit. Who wouldn't think that? A retard?
I make decisions not because of any certain strategic political calculus to the detriment of my political and professional and personal life. As you all can see, I get smeared in the press all the time because I'm not beholden to anyone in the establishment in either party. I'm going to do what is morally, I believe, morally clear, morally correct to protect my constituents, to protect children, especially. This is part of who I am and my persona. So for many of us, it is very risky to go after these people. But for me, I believe that it is worth it because the middle class feels that they aren't being heard, that they're being left behind because they aren't rich and powerful or rich and famous.
Yep,
and
true.
I'm here to show them that there are people in politics, in Congress, who care about them and their livelihood and care about putting bad people away who should go to jail. And I'm reminded of Dinah in the Bible, who was assaulted, and they tried to negotiate their way out of it. And it seems like in thousands of years, not much has changed.
No, it hasn't. The only difference is that back then they didn't even give a shit about consent. No, this is always what's going to happen. It's human nature. The problem is that you allow it to happen. It's not, the problem isn't that Epstein happened. The problem is that Epstein was allowed to happen.
With regards to women and
That's the
children who
issue.
are victims, and I'm here to change that, do whatever I can to show them that I care.
All right. South Carolina Congresswoman Nancy Mace, thanks for waking up early and starting.
No, I mean, there it is, right? I think she's right about that. Maxwell, criminal predator, she knew exactly what she was doing. How dare she going to be a victim? Maxwell's as evil as it gets. Well, she's saying whatever she needs to do, right? And that's it. And so if they don't have her, here's the way I'm seeing it, right? If they don't have her talking, you must comply or face punishment. You deserve justice for what you did. Yeah, exactly. Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer said his client will only speak if Trump... Okay, so this is really the statement here. So this is what I was looking for. Let me see if I can find it on... I don't know if it was on my Twitter or not. I'm going to look at it. And the problem is nothing's going to happen. No arrest or nothing. Maybe, right? I don't know. But I'm going to get to it. Let me see. Yeah, this is the post that he made. So Ghislaine Maxwell's lawyer has said that Maxwell will continue to maintain silence unless granted clemency by President Trump, claiming that her trial has been fundamentally unfair. Members of the committee, so this is the statement I gave to the committee explaining why. And this is the guy representing her. Ghislaine Maxwell invoked her constitutional right to silence this morning before Representative James Comer and the House Oversight Committee. Here is the statement that I gave to the committee explaining why. Members of the committee, on my advice, Ghislaine Maxwell will respectfully invoke her Fifth Amendment to right to silence and decline to answer questions today, though she would very much like to answer your questions. She must remain silent because Ms. Maxwell is a habeas petition and is currently pending that's currently pending and demonstrates that her conviction rests on a fundamentally unfair trial. For example, jurors lied during their I don't know what this is, to secure seats on the jury, and the government promised immunity and then broke that promise. Newly disclosed documents now demonstrate these facts conclusively. If the committee and the American public truly want to hear the unfiltered truth about what happened, there is a straightforward path. Ms. Maxwell is prepared to speak fully and honestly if granted clemency by President Trump. Only she can provide the complete account. Some may not like what they hear, but the truth matters. For example, both President Trump and President Clinton are innocent of any wrongdoing. Ms. Maxwell alone can explain why, and the public is entitled to that explanation. Thank you. So they're basically, so she's saying that this is the messaging that she's trying to go through. She's trying to act like, oh, I'm going to exonerate Donald, and that way he's going to give me a free pass. Like, that's what's going on. Then prove it. And so the lawyer's going to end up dead in a few years? Well, I don't know about that. I have no idea. So could the leverage also be death penalty for Ghislaine for names? Well, that's what I would do, right? Is I would say, I mean, this is just really what I would do. Is I would just take this person, I would say, listen, you know, you either give us 5 names that lead to convictions or we kill you. Period. That's what's going to happen. And give her 24 hours. That's it. 24 hours, 5 names. And if they don't lead to convictions, if a single one doesn't, you're dead. 10? I'd say 10, sure. Like, people want to say 10, that's okay. Slowly, she dead either way, bro? Like, yeah, exactly, only 5? Well, I'm a reasonable guy. And, yeah, death's a mercy for them. Bro, she'd stonewall you, then she'd be dead. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. And give her to Hamas. I mean, like, yeah, and also, like, why is it that... Like, I mean, this is, because you got to keep in mind, like, these are billionaires, world leaders. Like, this is a matter of world security. Like, this is not the time for people to be considering and thinking about, oh, but that's mean to do. No, bro. Like, this is about national security. It's about world security. It's about figuring out if there is a fucking pedophile elite cult of people that eat babies and sacrifice them to Satan. Like, and guaranteed raping underage girls. Like, this is, that's assumed. But it's like way more than that. It's way more than that. And so, like, really, like, and there's a greater evil. There is a greater evil. There is. Welcome back to 1600. They only care about Trump? Yeah, exactly. And they start World War III. The 5 would be another 10. Yeah, exactly. And so, what is this here? Billionaires think that they're above morals, so let's bring down to our morals. Well, it's more that, I mean, and again, it's the right thing to do, because if you don't do this and you don't let this happen, what will end up going on is that you'll just have these people go free and they'll do it again. And that's the problem, is that you have to set an example, because if you don't set an example, other people won't realize what they did wrong. That's the reason why. If it's all that horrible shit, then also having the most powerful leaders compromised as well. Well, that's the other thing too you've got to keep in mind, is that if these leaders are actually as implicated as they seem to be, it means that they are totally compromised and you can't rely on their leadership, because now they have something about them that is so bad and problematic that other people that are in powerful positions have access to, that they can hold that person accountable and control their behavior, which puts everybody at risk. The only way to get a real story is clemency. I would give her clemency for sure. I definitely would, but I would only do it on the condition that the names that she gives and everything lead to convictions of people. Like, I would never give her clemency as like a blanket thing unless there's actually like a conclusion to it. What's clemency? Well, like, yeah, there have to be conditions to this, right? Because, like, for example, like, let's say we give her clemency and then she just comes out and says a bunch of bullshit and says Trump's innocent. Well, people are never going to believe that, number one. So there's not really, like, that doesn't move the ball in any other direction. It makes no difference at all. But what's to stop these powerful leaders from paying everybody off? Well, I don't know. I mean, like, accountability from the voting population. Like, money matters until people will lose their position. Because if they lose their position, they can't leverage the money anymore. So the votes do matter more than money, but the problem is that the public isn't able to weaponize that voting. So that's the issue more than anything. Thomas Massey was threatened by Kash Patel? No, I didn't see that at all. Let me see if I can pull that up. Is that real? Like, I don't even believe this. Kash Patel's staff threatened Tom... Wait, what the fuck?
Also, I'm gonna say this here on camera because it's important. One of Kash Patel's staff threatened my staff with a criminal investigation if we didn't straighten up and play ball.
I was going to ask you about that, but since you brought it up, and I didn't.
I'm bringing it up.
Okay, you brought it up.
Wow.
And so, like a criminal investigation.
What I hate about this is it shows that they're willing to play ball. It shows that, like, Kash Patel, whenever he's working for something that he thinks is a good idea, he is willing to do some bullshit. He is willing to weaponize the legal system, but I just want him to do that on the right side. That's all I want. That's all I'm asking for, is do that on the right side.
Having nothing to do. He said it was going to be a
It's
fraud.
not very.
We're going to investigate one of your staff for fraud.
Yeah.
And he told another one of my staff this. If you guys don't straighten up, you know, if you want to play hardball, this is how you want to play it, or something like that, this member of your staff is going to get criminally investigated for fraud. A very
See,
specific.
why can't you do this? Why can't we get this Kash Patel on our side? Like, what makes me mad about this is it shows that he has it in him. He is willing to do things that are, like, fucking extreme, like your criminal investigation. What the fuck, man? Yeah, it sounds like bullshit. Because he's not on your side. Yeah, I wonder why. I know, it just pisses me off, man. For Israel, he's controlled, that's why. Listen, man, like, him talking about, like, the Epstein files after that, I mean, I really got weirded out by that a lot. I did. Like, for me, I saw that happen, and I was like, is there, like, I mean, there's got to be something going on here that's, like, you know, he's got to be, like, getting paid for this. He's being threatened. Like, there's something that's going on here. Why some of this stuff unable to be investigated for fraud, though? Yeah, I don't know, man. I have no idea. And also, it's because it's being weaponized. I think that's the reason why it's being discussed. I mean, very clearly, very obviously, right? It's about the British establishment.
Next week.
British question, if I may. What did you say to the man formerly known as Prince Andrew and to Peter Mandelson with regard to giving evidence to your committee?
Mandelson, they're bringing down the whole government, from what I hear.
Well, Keir Starmer's getting put for that, and he should be.
Now he just engaged in terrible behavior. I mean, the allegations are very serious that he was working for Gordon Brown and then feeding information about UK possibly buying euros and having Epstein trade on that. I mean, it is a deeply, deeply troubling. And, you know, Epstein's, I saw this interview with Epstein's former girlfriend talking about how someone is a loser if they weren't mentioned in the Epstein files.
That's crazy. That's actually crazy, bro. Like, there's no way, right? Like, here, remind me, let me wrap this one up, and then we're gonna go to it.
It's a window. It's a window into the elite impunity, this club. And by the way, I think this is the most vulnerable the British monarchy has ever been. I mean, I heard they were asking the Queen questions about the Epstein files. They ought to ask the King and Queen questions. Maybe this will be the end of the monarchy. Well, if they don't...
The monarchy has been over for a long time. It's symbolic, right?
Need help over here, dude?
He's not
Yeah.
saying that. Like,
Yeah.
The answers are, if they're implicated in an Epstein files, not a good look for the British monarchy.
Hey guys, do you think the British monarchy is implicated with the Epstein class? What do you think? What do you think? We got any thinkers in here?
No problem.
Oh man. Yeah, it's about where I'm at too.
Oh, the king has to answer what he knew. What he knew about Andrew. And just stripping Andrew of the title is not enough. I mean, Andrew needs to come before our committee and start answering questions. I mean, look, if you have allegations of raping a young girl, I don't think the appropriate punishment is you no longer get to be a prince.
Absolutely. That's a real one right there. Yep. You really think they'll get an answer? Or will we get more? I think that if we wanted to, if the public wanted to, we could easily get answers. It's so easy. The problem is that so many people are dumb. That's the issue, is they're dumb. It's also like, here's the issue too, nobody really gives a shit. You have very few real ones out there. Very, very few real ones.
You got to be more than
It's
that.
just a bunch of lip-dicks.
They must have known something that...
They need to answer. The king and queen, and I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand the British.
And people ask, this is Ro Khanna. He and Thomas Massey were the ones that were the two co-authors of the Epstein bill that basically caused this entire domino effect to happen. You know, he's a big Democrat. Thomas Massey is a libertarian Republican. And the two of them kind of came together with bipartisan agreement to, you know, put this bill forward. This is a W, huge W. And it got passed in the Senate. It got passed in the House almost unanimously. Unanimously in the Senate. In the House, there was one guy that voted against it because he's worried about victims being leaked. But, you know, he was still okay with it. So everybody voted for it. President signed it. Total unanimous agreement. Thomas Massey's joining the Democrat Party for 0 Hour and X. I don't know about that. I didn't see that.
Custom, but what's up with this? That you're going and someone's asking the queen a question. The queen is offended that she's being asking a question. I mean, come on. She wears the same clothes. She eats the same food. She's just a human being.
That's
she
right.
needs to answer the same questions anyone does.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Asking for their testimony to be public.
I believe.
Yeah, I was actually curious what he thought about that, but I don't know. Bro, you talk about the, no, I don't even know what you're talking about. And handwritten file that contradicts the official DOJ Inspector General report on Jeffrey Epstein's death. No, I didn't see that at all. I have no idea. Prince Andrew's ex saying something about being a loser. Wait, okay, all right. We've got the link.
It is astonishing that a senior member of the royal family would meet up with, take for dinner, maybe more, invite to Buckingham Palace.
Wait, so
a
this was 3
random
days ago.
26-year-old Russian
Well,
girl,
I
no?
suppose he felt very comfortable with Jeffrey. At that point, how long have they been friends? They've been friends
So
for
this is, hold up, this right here is Prince Andrew's ex-girlfriend. Is that right? I want to make sure I'm understanding this.
time,
Yeah.
right?
He didn't know the woman, presumably.
No, but I suppose he put all his trust in Jeffrey and just, Jeffrey said, oh, she's a nice girl, she's discreet, she's beautiful, and sort of why not? Like, he's single, and to be honest, like, he should have been charging for these private tours of Buckingham Palace. She should be sending the girl an invoice, I think.
But why not? It might be because she's a completely unknown 26-year-old. And he is a very senior member of the royal family.
Well, he's trying to sort the hose. I mean, like, let's be honest. Like, that's the reason why. I mean,
He's a guy, he needs to date. I mean, I think it's very hard for anyone to kind of try and imagine being in his shoes, but he's a male, he's single, he needs to date, he's not going to be sitting in a monastery his whole life, so how is he supposed to do that? And so this guy, Jeffrey Epstein, who trusted him, he's obviously like, they've known each other for a long time at this point, and he sort of thought, okay, well, he knows beautiful women, and
Andrew said in an interview to the BBC, quote, "That is a picture of me, it is definitely me."
yeah, because imagine, like, he never thought he was going to be shocked into a picture. Like, no one knew. Like, if I saw a picture of me 25 years ago in a location that might be in a friend's house, but I know I hadn't been upstairs, but when you first look at it, you don't imagine that someone could have swapped your heads out and put another head.
He's saying it's a face fake? It's what, it's fake? They say it's fake?
Day happened.
What do you mean, it's
And then we have the
Photoshop?
Epstein email from July 2011, which says, Jeffrey Epstein's email, yes, Virginia Giuffre was on my plane, and yes, she had her picture taken with Andrew.
Well, because he said, because I still believe Jeffrey and Virginia worked together on this.
Jeffrey and Virginia worked together
On setting up Andrew with a fake photo.
and
What the fuck are you talking about?
you believe that because
Why?
That's his biggest thing. That's what he did.
Because I
He was a
think so.
blackmailer. It's all coming out. He created, like, in this instance, a photo.
why
to
would you
use as
blackmail with a fake photo that could easily be proven?
It hasn't. No one's proven it except, like, people that
So
are.
she thinks it's fake.
No one's still saying it's
But all
fake.
the people that the BBC at the time of the interview went to the experts in photography to say, is this fake?
Yeah,
So
but what experts?
I just think people are going to come to the conclusion that
What
You
is everyone believing Jeffrey Epstein
that
now?
you provided no evidence.
There's a photo. There's a photo, and if you say the photo's fake, you have to come up with a reason for why the photo's fake. So, like, yeah, I mean, like, that's clearly the reason why. I mean, I can't even believe this.
Well, just tell me, is everybody believing Jeffrey Epstein as a Bible?
She's trying to use, what she's trying to do is she's trying to use, like, a moral, a moral, like, argument, right? Where she's saying, like, oh, well, you can't trust Jeffrey Epstein because he's this, like, weird bad guy. Right, okay, sure. There's
I
videos,
think
too.
people are believing Virginia Giuffre,
Really? Because she's dead.
not because she's dead, because she's totally
This is crazy. Who is this?
commonly likely the case that
Yeah.
this is a real photo. It really was there. It really did have her arm around her waist. And in
Okay,
fact,
I think what I would love you to do another time is to try and recreate that photo and see what the arm does, because that, even I can't show it because it's very private, but Andrew recreated that place
You're such a fucking
like
faggot,
that
bro.
to somebody else.
I gotta keep the extract, dude.
It doesn't
On a late
work.
server,
I
7
think
minutes
this is a
left.
private thing, but it's impossible.
Fuck you, bro.
Like, you have to have Inspector Gadget's arms to
Put your
have
arm around the waist of the...
look how it is.
Faggot.
The way
I mean, like, this is crazy. How she's so. This is. I'm like. I don't even know what to say. Source, trust me, bro. Like, yeah, this is the photo. Yeah, we got the photo. So this is the photo. Guys, I think this bitch is lying. I do. I think she's lying, man. She's lying to try. I don't know what she's doing this for. This looks normal. Yeah, bro, you can't listen. You gotta have crazy arms. Like, your arms have to be so long to do this. Like, Inspector Gadget, right? What the fuck is she talking about? This is crazy.
It's impossible, Tom.
Yeah.
His height does not. She is a 5'5".
Yeah.
He's 6 foot, 6'1".
You talked about the tapes.
But I still want to go on about this Virginia thing because, you know, just before she passed away, her lives were unraveling. Like, finally people were kind of realizing, okay, this girl is making up stories, and then she conveniently dies. And
I don't think it's convenience.
convenient for her,
She's
you
dead.
know, is she dead? I mean, I think.
Damn, bro, this bitch is retarded. Who is this?
You don't think she's
I
dead?
don't even think Jeffrey
Oh my
Epstein's
God.
dead anymore, to be honest.
You don't think Jeffrey Epstein?
No, I don't. I think he might be alive.
What is wrong with her?
Just, I'd seen one of those emails, one of the ones that ended up in the files, and I think that prison guard needs to be interviewed. The one that he said he saw the bodies being switched out.
So your honest belief is that Jeffrey Epstein is alive somewhere?
I said it's not my honest
Oh, I see.
belief, but I think it's a possibility.
Of course, it's a
Where
possibility.
might he be?
Israel, everyone is saying.
Right.
So we're never going to find this out.
Well, we
You know,
will,
it's
we
to say
will.
that.
Otherwise, I'm literally going to ask Trump myself. Like, I saw
You're
him
going to ask Trump to...
myself. I saw him on Christmas Eve, and we had a good conversation, and he even gave me his White House pen. And
What did you talk about?
England, he's like very concerned about this country falling apart, and
Fucking based.
he's completely backing Nigel Farage. And
Fucking based.
yeah, he gave me his pen. That's his White House on it. And I thought the next time I see him, I'm going to be saying to him, "I've been signing some pardons for you, Mr. President."
Do you think he'd release those tapes if
What
they
the
were
hell
exist?
is she talking
Think
about?
he'd acquiesce to that?
Yeah, it's not going to affect him. I'm going to try and find
'Cause
out
he's obviously
more.
implicated in the Epstein stuff quite heavily.
He's not implicated. Like, the guy had really, like, you know, he cut his ties with Epstein very early on, you know. The thing is, what people can see from these Epstein files, he knew everybody that was very powerful.
Is this going to be it?
So, like, if you were on the scene and you were powerful, like, to be honest, like, if you're not in those files, it would be an insult. Because it just means that you were a bit of a loser.
Right.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Wow. So she goes and says if you're not in the Epstein files, you were kind of a loser. Bro, this bitch is insane. And this is all in 6 minutes. She said all this. Oh my God.
And you were powerful, like, to be honest, like, if you're not in those files, it would be an insult.
What the fuck?
Because it just means that you were a bit of a loser.
Right. So the people who aren't in the files are the...
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my.
Lady Victoria Harvey,
Wow.
former girlfriend of Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. That's an astonishing attitude, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're not in the Epstein files,
Kind
it's
of
an
a
insult.
Yeah.
You're a loser. Now,
Wow. Wow, bro, that bitch is insane. Can you believe that? You think she's being manipulated to distract from the files? I have no idea. I have no clue whatsoever. Neurons, yeah, bro, what the fuck? Money can't buy you brain cells. What a horrible person this lady is. Disgusting. Yeah, what an insult to my brain. What an absolute ghoul. How can anyone defend any of this? Yeah, this is absolutely fucking insane. Like, I don't even know what to say. So, yeah, I mean, it looks like, you know, she's just out there going there saying this shit. Let me see if I can find the rest of this stuff and look at it, because it's just insane. And this is the FBI document. Take a look at this one. Cut ties very early on. This photo was from 2015. Let me see. I pulled this up. 2015. Oh. Oh, there it is. Wow. And also, like, the thing is that, I mean, whenever he resigned from his position, I feel like that kind of, to me, like, am I wrong for saying that whenever I see somebody do that, I think that they're kind of guilty, right? I mean, they're a little bit guilty for that. Because really, it's like, yeah, it's just like, earn money. Why get there and lie like that? I don't know. And so, yeah, it's an addiction. Absolutely, bro. Like, is it FBI document Epstein files clear show a decoy body was used? Wait, what? Addressing a reception from the embassy building where Epstein's body was being guarded. Responsible for it in order to thwart the media. Wait, what is it? In order to thwart the media, blank, blank, and blank, and used boxes and sheets to create what appeared to be a human body, which was put into the white OCME vehicle, which the press followed, allowing the black vehicle to depart with unnoticed with Epstein's... Guys. Is this a tip or real? It's an interview of an individual. I don't know who it is. It's blacked out, obviously. So that picture's like, it's a conspiracy. Every conspiracy was right. That means they avoided the media doing this? Yes. That's what it could mean. Or it could mean something else. 4chan prison guard. Maybe you're right. I don't know. And it was originally understanding when it was posted on 4chan. Yeah. Because, like, what do you, like, isn't it weird that the guy, I mean, and remember whenever he said they didn't need to go through the same processes that other people did for getting into the prison? Like, don't you find that to be kind of odd? I find that to be extremely odd. Newly released Epstein documents. Here's another one. Reveal FBI agent purposefully removed a hard drive from jail video recording system, intentionally erasing all prison footage during the time of Epstein's death. I mean, you see this stuff happen, right? Holy crap. This is it here, right? In order, he advised FBI agent was the one who pulled out the DVR. He advised that he knew that by replacing both hard drives, the system would be wiped, and he had advised the NCC of that. Oh boy. Advised that only one hard drive of the camera system was working at the time of the incident in August 10th, 2019. When a DVR went bad, none of the cameras recorded. There was a system failure of DVR on July 29th, 2019, and the motherboard failed on DVR August 8th, 2019. The drive failure occurred on August 10th. After the incident, Blank was asked about the cameras. There were 2 new hard drives to install, but installing the new hard drives would mean all the prior data would be lost. The warden wanted the video. So it looks like they removed the whole thing. Too many coincidences? Oh my God. What a time to be alive. Yeah, so Bondi lied. I mean, I don't know if they did or not. I mean, they might not have seen this. I have no idea. And so whenever I see all this stuff, it's fucking insane. And this is, oh, by the way, this is Jon Stewart. Here we go. Here it is. Let's watch it.
My God. Could it be any clearer that John Podesta and his brother are running a family-owned child sex ring? What else would love to get a pizza mean? That was, my God. Could it be any clearer that John Podesta and his brother are running a family-owned child sex ring? What else would love to get a pizza mean?
Somebody asked Jon Stewart what he thinks about this shit now. Because I'm kind of curious, right? I mean, because really, there have been some new things that have come to light recently, and I feel like this new information has had a very, very different slant to it. It really has. Wow, what are the odds of that?
That was the famous Pizzagate conspiracy. When people were so obsessed with finding evidence of sex trafficking, they built a whole code book and applied it to those emails.
Yeah, but you got to admit, though, right, is like it's kind of crazy that that code book, like, isn't it weird that the code book that all these conspiracy theorists came up with turns out to be the exact same vocabulary that they're using privately? I mean, like, what do you think the odds of that are? I mean, that's kind of crazy that, like, people discerned a coded language, and then 5 or 10 years later, after that, files come out that just seem to reinforce that coded language word for word, like point for point. Isn't that weird?
What they found were numerous references to pizza, a term Urban Dictionary says is slang for child pornography. So somehow they concluded that Podesta and company were speaking in code.
These conspiracy theorists started saying that pizza and cheese and pasta were code words, referring in fact to child.
Somebody got to check on Jon Stewart. And the thing is that, I'm going to be real, I thought this was stupid too. I did. I thought this was ridiculous. And I can make fun of Jon Stewart as much as I want, but the truth is that I was one of these people too. Like, because at the time, I didn't feel like there was enough evidence for it. Like, I was like, yeah, maybe it's happening, maybe not, right? But I didn't really believe it. I did not. And I was actually pretty definitive about not believing it. But, like, now that this new information comes out, I mean, you got to admit, whenever you were a little bit too fast to the punch there, sure seems like it's more true than I thought it was going to be. You had different reasons for not believing it? What's hard to say?
Why did the Podesta emails mention the code word pasta for either little boy or sex 78 times?
Yeah, well, there we go. And I think that's an interesting question. And where is this here? When Jon Stewart debunked Pizzagate, what is this? When Jon Stewart debunked Pizzagate, a screenshot of an email from Tony Podesta to John Podesta was deceptively cropped so you can't see the full email. Here is the email not cropped. As you can see, he wrote that he would love to get pizza for an hour. The context is obviously important since you can't get food for an hour, providing that he's not talking about actual pizza. I think this is a horrible argument. You can absolutely go get food for an hour. Like, what do you mean? Like, I regularly get food for an hour. Like, what do you mean? Like, I don't think that's weird. Like, what is he saying? Would love to get pizza for an hour. Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with this. This isn't a smoking gun. I don't think so at all. No one talks like that? Really? I don't know. Like, I think I've said to people before, like, you want to get food, you know, and eat for like an hour or something. Like, I feel like I've said that before. I do. Now, I could be wrong, but, like, overall, I do feel like I said that. I don't think that's crazy at all. Wait, what? He says he's not a pedophile.
McCarthyism that has afflicted America since the 1950s. I want you to look at this paper that has been reproduced and sent by the Justice Department. It's called Prominent Names. And it's a list of prominent people who have been accused. Every single name of every accuser has been blacked out. So, for example, let's turn to me. It says blank, 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 blacked out, stated she gave him a massage on Epstein's plane, parenthesis, not a minor. So let's understand that. This is an adult, a woman who was on Epstein's plane. She says, I was never on an Epstein plane with a young woman.
Right.
I never got on this. This is total defamation, a total lie, but I can't prove it because they won't give me her name. McCarthyism on the issue of this spy job.
Go ahead.
For the Mossad, that comes from what is called an undercover confidential source. I happen to know who the source is. The source is somebody who the FBI investigated, found to be totally incredible, lacked all credibility. This is the worst form of McCarthyism. Why are we tolerating it? Why are we allowing accusations without the names of the accusers? For example, in my case, it's an adult woman. We don't know that she's a victim. We don't know whether she's a perpetrator. We don't know whether she's a co-conspirator. Why do you hide her name and produce the name of the people who are accused? That's guilt by accusation. That's...
I mean, why do you hide the name of the person who's a victim and not the person who gets named? I mean, like, what are we talking about? I mean, obviously you're going to... Like, it's inconvenient, and he has a point, though. You're right. He does have a point. But at the same time, there is a greater good that this information has to show. And again, like, is it embarrassing that you're in these files? Yeah, it's embarrassing that you're in the files. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that we should give out the names of the victims. Like, duh. I mean, sometimes there are bad things and collateral damage that happen. Like, that's life.
Guilt by association. It's McCarthyism. It's wrong. It's unconstitutional. It has to stop.
What?
And the
It's
media is playing a role in this. Politicians are playing a role in this. Epstein will never be remembered for years. He will be remembered for inciting McCarthyism that infects America now more than it ever has since the 1950s. It has to stop.
Jesus Christ, what I feel like that is so fucking ridiculous, isn't it? Oh my God. In this situation, giving the names of the victims that can testify can result in them being dead. Yeah, exactly. The main goal is to protect the victims if they're revealed and suffer any harm. What are the odds of future victims coming forward? Exactly. Yeah, there it is. They were talking about a young girl returning and a little girl praying for Jesus. This was from Jeffrey Epstein himself. Blank said that she felt God's presence next to her when she was in bed. She knows that Jesus watches over her. And he helped save her life. Whoops. You should dress up as him when you see her. Man. Bro, like... This is evil. Yes, it's actually, this is what I was saying before, is that you can't make a movie of Jeffrey Epstein. You're not able to do that. The reason why is that it's so bad and so evil that it's just fucking insane. Like, it's absolutely fucking insane, and it's so crazy that, yeah, absolutely that's the case. 100% it is. He's out of his fucking mind. Why is the name redacted? That's an evil response. It is. It's a crazy, crazy response. Yeah, who's talking about this? This is insane. Very unconstitutional. Like just being in the Epstein files doesn't make you guilty. The same can be said about the alleged victims. Yeah, definitely. Why is the font different? I have no idea why. But I mean, are you trying to say it's fake? Yeah, these people are fucking awful. Oh my God. And so anyway, let's scroll down. We'll look at the rest of this here. A new mouth comes out this week. Oh geez. Epstein loves the torture video. Board recipient fits Mendelsohn pixel for pixel. Man. Mandelson, excuse me. Mandelson, wow. That's about right, isn't it? Holy fucking shit. And reality supersedes fiction? Yeah, I guess so, doesn't it? And this is just crazy. The autists cannot be stopped. Yeah, they're figuring all this stuff out. Peter Mandelson right there. There's another one, obviously. And there it is. And Republican running for governor in Minnesota withdrew from the race after his daughter was found stabbed to death. What the fuck? I didn't see that at all. Oh, my God. And where is it here? Dude, if you see, if you ate kids, you're going to fucking die? What the fuck? Alex Jones exposes, okay, this is some other random bullshit. This is something else, too. And... Damn, bro. Like, wow. It's also more on Prince Andrew. He might get finally criminally investigated. Well, what's this? Let me see if I can find it. He going and posting me. How about that? Is this a new one? New Andrew emails appear to Epstein to pass on confidential investment information.
Andrew Mountbatten Windsor appears to have knowingly shared confidential information with Jeffrey Epstein when, as Prince Andrew, he was a UK trade envoy. Emails seen by the BBC from the recently released Epstein files show Mr. Mountbatten Windsor apparently passing on details of investment opportunities. Official guidance says trade envoys have a duty of confidentiality with sensitive commercial or political information. Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has been contacted for comment. Here's our investigations correspondent, Andy Verity.
So he could have basically like shared confidential information while he was in a position that like that would have been illegal to do.
This is Andrew Mountbatten Windsor in the present day, stripped of his titles and roles after revelations of his past dealings with Jeffrey Epstein.
Embarrassment, sir. Prince Andrew, are you resigning?
He was already under pressure about it 15 years ago after newspaper revelations in March 2011 saying the financier already...
Honestly, that gets me fucked up, man. 2011 was 15 years ago. Oh my God. Wow.
By then convicted of soliciting a child for prostitution and helped pay off his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson's debts. Emails in the latest batch of files released by the US Department of Justice appear to indicate that weeks earlier, on the 30th of November 2010, the then Prince received reports about his official visits as a British trade envoy to Vietnam, Singapore and China. 5 minutes later, he sent them to Epstein.
I'm carrying on.
5 minutes later. So he just going, wait, let me listen to that again.
Visits as a British trade envoy. November 2010, the then Prince received reports about his official visits as a British trade envoy to Vietnam, Singapore and China. 5 minutes later, he sent them to Epstein.
Bro.
I'm carrying on.
The former Duke of York told Newsnight he last saw Epstein in early December 2010 to break off their friendship.
I have no recollection.
But on Christmas Eve, he emailed Epstein a briefing he knew was confidential on investment opportunities in the reconstruction of Helmand Province, Afghanistan.
Attached? Why would you just say, from the Duke, attached as a confidential brief? It's like these people never even thought they would get caught. This is insane. In fucking Gmail, too, yes. Oh my God.
Funded by British government money. And further emails show he was still suggesting other investments for Epstein weeks later.
Yes.
Under official guidance, trade envoys have a duty of confidentiality over sensitive commercial or political information about relevant visits. The former Duke of York has been contacted for comment, but has not responded. Andy Verity, BBC News.
I bet he is. Yep, I bet he hasn't had anything to say. There are usually automatic signatures sent outside the organization. Just the ending of this interview is insane now. Okay, let me see if I can find it. So where is it? So this is the end of the interview.
You've talked about a thick skin. I wonder if you have any sense now of guilt, regret, or shame about any of your behavior and your friendship with Epstein.
As far as Mr. Epstein is concerned, it was the wrong decision to go and see him in 2010.
Sure was.
As far
You
as
fucked up.
My association with him was concerned, it had some seriously beneficial outcomes in areas that have nothing to do with what I would describe as what we're talking about today.
With what I would describe as what we're talking about today? Like, does that mean with women, or does that mean with confidential information? What a weird, like, so there were a lot of benefits. Wait a minute. So there were a lot of benefits to being in this relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. Like what?
On balance,
yeah, I wonder.
Could I have avoided ever meeting him? Probably not. And that's because of my friendship.
Don't ever, like, oh yeah, well, he's everywhere. He can imagine. Dude, you were hanging out with this guy all the time. It's not like this is an acquaintance at a party that you took a photo with. Like, what do you mean? This is like, oh, somebody I knew a couple of times, you know, like I even went to dinner with this guy. Nah, bro, you knew this guy. You were hanging out with him all the time.
Glenn, it was inevitable that we would have come across each other. Do I regret the fact that he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming. Yes.
Unbecoming. He was a sex offender.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm being polite, in the sense that he was a sex offender. But no. Was I right in having him as a friend? At the time, bearing in mind this was some years before he was accused of being a sex offender, I don't think there was anything wrong then. The problem was the fact that
I can see why he had to leave. This guy really, he says some stupid ass shit. This guy's a moron.
that once he had been convicted,
you stayed with him.
I stayed with him.
Yeah.
And that's the bit that
that's
as
what
it were, I kick myself for on a daily
I
basis.
kick myself for hanging out with this generational, prolific, international, like, yeah, I would kick myself for that too. Ah, jeez, guys, I really messed up there, huh?
Because it was not something that was becoming of a member of the royal family. And we try and uphold the highest standards and practices, and I let the side down. Simple as that.
This interview has been exceptionally rare. You might not speak on this subject again. Is there anything you feel has been left unsaid that you would like to say now?
No, I don't think so. I think you've
Does
probably
that have anything
dragged
to
out
say?
most of what is required, and I'm truly grateful for the opportunity that you've given me to be able to discuss this with you.
Your Royal Highness, thank you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Man, how about that? That's really weird.
I mean, what we're after is the men who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked women to. We want those names published.
Yeah.
We're not out to embarrass people. And the problem is, we went in there hoping to see that in 302 forms. What we found out is those 302 forms were redacted before they got to the DOJ.
Yeah.
So, but our legislation directs the FBI, which is the agency that produced those 302 forms, to also produce these documents.
Sure.
The Attorney General is ultimately responsible for that production, so that's why.
Sure, this is going to happen for sure, guys.
But there needs to
Definitely.
be more information given in those 302s. So I was disappointed we didn't find that. But it's also clear,
What a mystery.
just sort of as a checking their homework, that they need to do a little more homework. There are 6 men. We went in there.
I don't understand how this works. I thought they said it was like a PvE battle. I don't know.
For 2 hours. There's millions of files, right?
Right.
And in a couple of hours, we found 6 men whose names have been redacted, who are implicated in the way that the files are presented.
What's your message to Pam Bondi after what you saw today?
You need to do a little more work. And I would like, we'll see her at the Judiciary Committee here in a couple days.
Yeah, he wants the names of the women? Well, I don't know. I mean, again, like, did the removal of the redacting trick not work anymore? Yeah, exactly. Thomas on his Twitter is dropping hints on who's redacted. Wait, really? No way.
How much new information then did you see that was unredacted, or did it look pretty similar to what we've seen publicly?
I mean, what we're after is the men who Jeffrey Epstein trafficked women to. We want those names
No way. Yeah, exactly. 100%.
published. We're not out to embarrass people. And the problem is, we went in there hoping to see that in 302 forms.
Yeah.
What we found out is those 302 forms were redacted before they got to the DOJ. So,
who did that? They got to figure this out. The big problem that I have with this is that it's taking too long. Like right now, like this has been going on now for like a couple of months. Really, it's been going on for a couple of months. If Trump did, well, I mean, like, what do you think my opinion is if Trump did that? Like, it's the most extreme opinion that you could possibly have. But I gotta have proof for it. Cash did it himself? Yeah.
but our legislation directs the FBI, which is the agency that produced those 302 forms, to also produce these documents. The Attorney General is ultimately responsible for that production, so that's why we're here at the DOJ to view these files.
Yeah.
But there needs to be more information given in those 302s. So I was disappointed we didn't find that. But it's also clear, just sort of as a checking their homework, that they need to do a little more homework. There are 6 men. We went in there for 2 hours. There's millions of files, right? And
we saw
a
this
couple
part.
of hours, we
play.
found 6 men whose names have been redacted, who are implicated in the way that the files are presented. And finally, the documents that they put up and decided for one reason or another they had to take back down.
I think that honestly, if they don't release the name, they gotta just put it out there. They gotta just put it out there. Just do it.
I was hoping to see those here.
Yep.
They didn't appear to be in the
Say the
database
name.
that we were able to search. For those ostensibly are wholly redacted files now. We know they exist. They published them for a brief period of time and pulled them back. They need to answer to us as to do they intend to redact those files and put them back up and put them in the database so that we can search them and see if it was appropriate to take them back down from the website.
Are these men U.S. citizens? What fields do they work in? Are it finance? Is it political?
Now we get that, bro. W question. Holy shit.
What fields do they work in? Are it finance? Is it political?
At least it's appropriate to take them back down from the website.
Are these men U.S. citizens? What fields do they work in? Are it finance?
The context is these are people implicated in the Epstein files as perpetrators, potential or conspirators or problematic people.
Is it political?
At least one is a U.S. citizen. At least one is a foreigner, and the other 3 or 4 have names. I'm not sure if they're foreign or U.S.
And which field do they work in? Is it finance, banking, political?
One is pretty high up in the foreign government.
And
man. Oh man. That is the face of somebody that just realized somebody got caught with their, probably literally their pants down. Man, how about that? Wow.
It's pretty high up in the foreign government.
And some are, one of the others is a pretty prominent individual. But I think that the point is that these 6 are just what we found in 2 hours of a review of the files that aren't redacted.
So wait, are you telling me that these 2 fucking guys just show up and in 2 hours they find 6 people, but the whole Department of Justice couldn't figure this out in like months with hundreds of people? That, man, I feel like something's wrong here. I feel like there's something that's wrong here.
The other issue is why so many of the files they're getting are redacted in the first place. And until that becomes unredacted, the main things that they're sending to the career attorneys to review, I don't think we're going to have full compliance with the law. Get the question that most Americans want to know.
Keep in mind that, keep in mind the way he said this. Full compliance with the law. the inversion of principles that's circumventing the DOJ, that is intentionally obfuscating the, you know, legally required by law dissemination of information. That is not breaking the process, that's making the process. That is the process.
Who were the rich and powerful people who went to this island? Did they rape underage girls? Did they know that underage girls were being paraded around? And after seeing this, I don't blame the U.S. attorneys, the assistant U.S. attorneys reviewing it. If they're reviewing redacted material, what are they supposed to do?
Yeah, they can't
but
say
they're
anything.
getting, it seems like, material that's already been redacted.
Yeah, there it is. So they don't even, so basically they're poisoning the well. Like, you can't even, or I mean, I don't even know if that's the right term for it. But like, they're pretty much saying that, like, okay, well, you can't even go into it at all because they're just shutting it down. Yeah, look at Jeffrey Epstein's alive. Oh, is the poly market going up or not? That's what really matters, right? I mean, guys. Oh boy, it is going up. So 6% is a lot. I know, this is a lot. And what is this? And I'm worried for you. Oh, I don't know about any of that. I have no idea anything else or whatever this is. And oh boy. And pull me up, it's time. And he was alive. There was someone might do a rescue attempt on the ambulance. Well, yes, exactly. Epstein is in a bunker sweating over poly market. Yeah, dude, well, that's what it is, right? I mean, it's poly market is the one that I think a lot of people are listening to and they're seeing it, and that's it. How do you prove this is a bet? How can you make a bet on something you can't prove? Well, if it gets exposed that Jeffrey Epstein is alive, I think that's a pretty big one, right? I think that's obviously a big one. So yeah, anyway, look at this. And so I don't understand why this is, I don't understand why this is so, why nobody's talking about this. This is crazy. Oh my fucking God. This dude, oh, look, it's me. This dude's been covering the Epstein files brilliantly for millions. We're in a new age of disclosure, and we need channels like Asmongold to carry the torch many have dropped since 2016. Well, the reason why I'm covering it, I think that a lot of other people are afraid to cover it, or they don't want to look into it or anything else. But the reason why, it's very, very simple. The reason why is because they're the ones that want to realize, listen, like, people want to know what the truth is. They want to know what the actual truth is, not some bullshit or anything else. So I feel like that's the main reason. So this is another really big one. I didn't even see this. So Discord sets all accounts to teen mode unless adults can verify their age. I think, in my opinion, like, this is the biggest fucking story today. This is a really big fucking deal. So this is, and by the way, it's not entirely true. I know there's an algorithmic detection that, you know, if you say on God or, you know, like anything else, like if you say that enough times, you automatically get flagged for age verification. You know, if you say 6'7", like more than 2 times, you get flagged for age verification. There's a lot of things that'll flag you for age verification. That's just the way it is. So yes, and anyway, don't know. No, I'm being honest, right? That's at Skibidi Riz. Yeah, say Skibidi Toilet, link a Skibidi Toilet video. You're getting age verified. So Discord sets all accounts to teen mode unless adults verify age. So let's go back. We'll look at this right here, and I'll see if I can find it. Oh my God. Words cannot express the disdain I feel for Discord, so I drew my persona beating Wumpus to death. Dog boy artist. Free Palestine, abolish ICE. It's actually amazing to me that people like this exist, because these are like balding neckbeards wearing fedoras and cargo pants with a My Little Pony t-shirt on. It's like you are the infinity gauntlet of fucking, you know, like stereotypes. It's unbelievable. What is this? Kids are not all right? Yeah, it's weird. And he's got the Pee-wee map affixes, definitely. And they put me on senior mode if I use the word lit. If you say lit, I don't know, probably not. I mean, it's got to be something that's like groovy. Like if you say groovy, they give you free nitro as like a senior discount, okay? Like they're like, listen, you're gonna be dead soon anyway. You're gonna get Discord nitro for free for your whole life. So for the next 8 months, right? And that's it. Smooth, yeah, something like that. Rambunctious, that's a big word. So anyway, Discord will require a face scan or ID for full access next month. So Discord announced on Monday it's rolling out. Okay. So anyway, let's go to the next one here. Yeah, I don't know what this is. Discord. Okay, so this is the actual press release by Discord themselves. So, teen by default settings will roll out globally for all Discord users, enhancing age-appropriate protections while maintaining privacy. Discord is announcing stated teen safety features rolling out globally. Let me just scroll all the way down so you guys can read it more easily. Globally, that reinforce long-standing commitment to creating safer and more inclusive experiences for users over the age of 13. As part of this update, all new and existing users worldwide will have a teen-appropriate experience by default with updated communication settings, restricted access to age-gated spaces, and content filtering that preserves the privacy and meaningful connections that define Discord. So what we're having now is that Discord is going to... So much for Discord? No, you guys don't understand. This is the new normal. Welcome to the new normal, gentlemen. Like, every single website in probably 5 years is going to have some variation of this. I don't think you guys understand how... Like, you think about... Jeffrey Epstein, really bad. Yeah, he was really bad. But we have millions of little Epsteins on Discord, social media, Instagram, TikTok. Like, you have these TikTok lives. I don't even want to say this because it's disgusting. But listen, we're just going to talk about it in plain English. You have these underage girls that are dancing on camera on TikTok Live, and you have creepy old men that are donating the money like it's an underage strip club. This is a big problem. And whether you think that age verification is the solution or not, the reality is that there are so many people that do that is an inevitability. The problem is that the internet now has become so big and it is so influential on our real lives that whenever the internet affects people's real lives, you need to have accountability for that behavior. You do. And if you have people that are completely unaccountable, totally anonymous, that are able to do stuff that's bad on the internet, what's going to happen is that people's real lives are going to be damaged. And it's like you can't drive around without a license plate. And I'm not even arguing for this to happen, but what I am saying is that there are enough people in the world that see it this way for this to become the new normal. That's it. This isn't like this is new. Yes. And you're lame? I'm not lame. I'm telling you the truth. I told you guys, remember 6 months ago, I told you guys over bad, yes? Bad analogy. It's not a bad analogy. It's not at all. It's just the truth. That's how people will see it. So ban guns. People all the time try to regulate guns. There's 50 different regulations on guns. Like, absolutely. Owning a gun without a license to own a gun in some cases is illegal. Like, what argument are you trying to make? Are you retarded? So anyway, yeah, why do you think you have the ATF? So I've been saying this is going to happen for a while now. Do you remember whenever I said, soon this is what's going to happen and it's going to become the new normal? And everybody was getting mad at me. Everybody was mad at me. Remember that? I just really, like, that's wrong. Yeah, hey.
They're creeping up the stairs.
Listen, guys, everybody says I'm retarded. But what they forget is that most people are retarded. So that's the reason why I can know where things are going to go. Is because I can think like a retard. And if I can think like a retard, I know what all the retards are going to want. And this is what they're going to want. That's the way it is. Yes, in the immortal words. But the people are retarded. That's right. So yes, and our favorite retard crystal ball, yes. And now finally I have more people that are seeing this, and you know, I'm very glad to see it too, right? But anyway, I just want to say that this is just yet another thing that I was right about. Even though everybody was mad, this is going to become so normalized. Like in probably 5 years, you're going to need to use your ID to make social media accounts. I don't know about everywhere, but there will probably be different tiers of social media accounts, and ID will be required for using the higher tier of those social media accounts. Immortal wisdom? Well, that's just how it is. And never that mobile ID will take longer. Well, I think that we're probably going to see, so as the internet becomes increasingly more regulated, what we're going to be seeing erode is the idea of the World Wide Web. Because whenever you have a website and an internet that's regulated for Romania, China, America, you know, Argentina, you know, El Salvador, Cuba, right? Maybe not Cuba, right? But like, you know, Germany. Like, you have too many rules and there are too many conflicts, and you're probably going to have a more segmented internet in probably 10 to 15 years from now. You are. And I think that that's already beginning with different social media websites. So yeah, and I think that's sad. I do. I think it's a bad thing, but I think that's where we're going. And anyway, let's ask global privacy forward age assurance. Okay, here we go. Key privacy protections of Discord's age assurance approach include video selfies of facial age estimation, never leave a user's device. Quick deletion. Identity documents submitted to our Discord vendor partners are deleted quickly, in most cases immediately after age confirmation. I can't wait for a leak in 2 years to confirm this isn't true. Straightforward verification. In most cases, users complete the process once their Discord experience adapts to their verified age group. Users may be able to ask to different methods. Private status of user's age verification cannot be seen by other users. That's probably a good idea. Default settings, age-gated spaces, stage restrictions, giving teens a seat at the table. I really don't think that, like, here's the reality. If you allow teens and people who are underage to have peer-to-peer messaging, you're gonna have grooming. That's it. You're gonna have it. There's no website that's not going to have that if you have people that are able to interact with each other, whether it's Roblox, World of Warcraft, MySpace, Twitter, Discord, Club Penguin, Neopets, fucking Call of Duty. You will have this no matter what. Discord just had a data leak, especially on a default as teen. That's not very well thought out. Well, I think it's the reason why they're doing that is because there are a lot of Discords that are for porn. Like, remember like maybe 5 years ago or so, every Discord had like an NSFW channel? Like, I think that's really creepy and weird. Why? It's just like, I don't get that. I don't understand that. But for some reason, a lot of these different channels have that. Really? Yeah, many of them have that. And we never had it. No, my Discord never had that. But like a lot of other Discords did. So, why? I don't know, because people like doing that, I guess. But it's a big problem whenever you have a kid that's going on these Discords and looking at porn, right? It is. It's a big problem. And a lot of adults don't want to have their children going on an unmoderated website or an unmoderated app and then looking at porn and not understanding what's going on. That's really the issue. Are you in favor of the verification? Am I in favor of the verification? I'm thinking, like, what would my solution be? Because, like, I'm thinking this, like, just give me a minute. I'm thinking, like, kind of in my head, like, what would the actual good solution for this problem be? Because it's very obvious that this is a problem. This is a legitimate problem, and ignoring the problem, in my opinion, is not a solution. Like, you can't just say, ignore the problem. I think that you should look at different tiers of accounts And starting somebody on a non-peer-to-peer messaging account that can't upload images, and then requiring them to use
I want to go lobby or medical?
peer-to-peer messaging and to upload images, I think that's something that I could potentially
This way or that way? It looks like this
I don't
way.
really know though. I'd really have to think this out a lot.
No, I go over here.
But I think that really, and here's another component to it. Nothing will stop kids from getting on the internet more than better parenting. You can have every rule and every, logistics
Y'all coming this
set
way?
up,
Where we going?
but kids will use their parents' ID.
What are you doing?
They will use their parents' account. They will use, their parents' computer, and they will be doing it no
Dude,
matter
what the
So
fuck
at the
is
end of
going
the
on?
day, you cannot replace good parenting. And I think that really that doesn't mean
Bro,
that we
what-
shouldn't do any diligence at all.
We're
Obviously,
over
yes,
here.
you should still do due diligence, and you should still try to take a best faith effort.
Why am I
in order
playing
to
with two
prevent
people with
minors from
cock in
going
their
on
name? This
porn
is
sites.
ridiculous.
Absolutely. But at the same time, I think that it's, we were all kids. Like, I mean, we were all kids. I mean, if you were 11 years old, could your parents have stopped you?
Dude, why is it always when I come kidded I get these dumb lobbies with somebody who wants to just do his own thing?
No, absolutely not for me. Not for me. We're doing that shit every day. Every day. Sorry,
Like, I
parents,
don't
yeah,
get
absolutely.
it.
Internet was less restricted back then.
I'm very
Like,
conflicted
really,
as
like,
to
if
what to
you
do
were
now.
11, like, you really think you wouldn't be able to figure it out? Like, I mean, what are we doing here, right?
Don't
I mean,
do that.
obviously, kids can figure this shit out. Like, I guarantee you that there's elementary school
Might as
kids
well
looking at porn.
join this
Like,
dude
I
since he doesn't want to
guarantee
listen.
you that, like, at recess, they probably
Dude,
have
his
their
cock's too
smartphones
big.
out,
He doesn't want- he
and
can't
they're
listen to
showing each
nobody.
other weird porn shit. And they're probably 9 and probably 10, 11 years old. Like, that's probably what's happening. Like, straight up, like, it's fucking weird, it's creepy, and it's bad, but that's almost 100% chance that's what's happening. And you want to
You're over here looting damn boxes. We're trying to get some kills.
That's what we did. And I don't think that the kids nowadays are that much different. But that being the reality doesn't mean that you should not take good faith efforts to avoid having kids. Like, and here's another really big issue, right? And this is something that's not really talked about enough. And the only context that it's talked about in is a homophobic context, where basically, kids that get abused, it's going to make them gay or transsexual or something like that. But there's actually a much bigger context to this, which is whenever you introduce children, and whenever I'm saying children, I'm talking about pre-puberty. Whenever you introduce children to sexual content that is, fetish content or something like that, you can fuck up their brain wiring. You can. And I think this is a well-documented reality. It's a fact. And so, how do you solve that problem? You fuck them up, right? And it's like I use the meme, right? We use the meme. How many people in our generation got one-shotted by Lola Bunny and turned into furs? Probably many people. I would say lots of people. Why do I like goth girls? Probably because I watched Underworld with Kate Beckinsale 1,000 times. It's true. That shit works. It does. Absolutely, natural selection, yes. And so think about how much worse it is for even weirder shit. Think about that. Teen Titans? Yeah, right. Or something like whatever. I was a little bit too old for that.
Pussies. Fucking pussies.
I think Raven or something like that. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
yeah.
But I think that's another good example. You're right. And so, generally, what I'm saying is that kids going on the internet and being groomed into weird fetishes is a big problem. And it needs to be addressed. And it needs to be taken seriously. But at the same time, you can't stop it unless you have good parenting. It doesn't matter how many regulations, rules, or, conformities Discord has. It will not make a single fucking bit of difference. So yeah, Scott Pilgrim chick? Bro, absolutely. Yep, there you go. Disney Pixar moms? Yep, 100%. And let it go, bro. Weird fetishes were goth girls to our parents. Well, what I'm saying is that people, people's early sexual experiences, good or bad, it's like growing a tree, right? If you have a tree that gets fucked up whenever it's growing, it's not going to be like this. It's going to be like this, right? Or it's going to be like that, or whatever. And so, I think it's pretty obvious that's what's happening. And extreme simulation is like kids for drugs. Internet at young ages is a big debuff for life. I mean, I was on the internet. I'm going to tell you, this is just me, right? So I was on the internet at age 10 and 11 years old, completely unrestricted. I would go and look at porn every fucking time my mom wasn't awake. I would be doing it constantly. I'd be Googling anything that I wanted. I'd be looking up all kinds of shit. My friends would come over, older and younger. We'd look at it together, and we were doing this. Then I got a computer in my room at 14, and then, like, you know, Jeff would be sitting there, and he'd be looking at porn all night long. And then he'd wake up, and he'd say, it was Cody looking at porn. And I asked Cody, I said, no, Cody, it wasn't me, it was Jeff. And then I go, Jeff, I said, Jeff, you were looking at porn. Cody said he was asleep. He says, oh no, Cameron came over, he was looking at it. So then Cameron comes over later on in the day. I asked Cameron, were you looking at porn? He says, no, I was at church. And it's like, Jeff, were you looking at porn? Oh, it's a virus. And all of this, by the way, all I wanted him to do was run Alterac Valley for me on my Warrior. I told him, play Alterac Valley so I can become a Grand Marshal. And if you do that, I'll buy you a hot dog at 7-Eleven. I wake up in the morning, my computer's full of porn and viruses. My character's dead in Scarlet Monastery, and I'm missing 15 gold. And I look at my honor, he did half of one game. So yeah, I woke his fucking ass up. I said, Jeff, what the fuck? I was mad, bro. Worst deal ever, yeah. And that was it. And so anyway, Jeff, one job. He had one job. How pissed were you? I was fucking furious. It was AV weekend. That shit was AV weekend. I was ready to go to work. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I do the same, I know. But anyway, I get it. I know, it is what it is. So this is the way it happened. Now hackers can steal millions of government IDs instead of just 70,000. TeamSpeak is really just trying to get in on this. They're really trying to put themselves out there. Now, the same Discord that had an ID leak 4 months ago. That's the joke I made, right? So Discord will require a face scan or an ID card for full access. So let me talk about the bigger picture with this, okay? So here's where things are going. ID is going to be required for everything on the internet. If you want to buy something, ID is going to be required. If you want to make a social media account, ID is going to be required. The internet is too powerful, too pervasive, and too influential for there not to be a higher level of accountability. Now, whether you agree with this or not, I don't like this world, but I know where we're going, okay? If I say it's gonna rain tomorrow, that doesn't necessarily mean I want it to rain. But it's gonna fucking rain tomorrow. And I'll tell you something that's raining right now. We'll create a new internet. Shut up. Just shut up. And we'll all go back. Yeah, but shouldn't it be up to the companies to request ID info? It should be a government app. I agree with you that there should be a government, basically two-factor authentication where you have an authentication code from the government that you can use in order to log into social media websites. So there's double-blind verification, and nobody actually gets held accountable for it unless there's a legal proceeding. I think that's what should happen. Like, if you want to have a good solution, because think about it like this. Do you want to give your ID to every fucking company and then have one of them have a leak and then everybody's shit comes out? Or do you want to have the government have it? Like, I don't really trust the government a lot, but I think that they're probably going to do a better job than Sony. Okay? They're probably going to do better than Sony. Sony's not so good. And so they already have it. Yeah, Palantir. Yeah, they already have it. And so you can just request a code.
Let's go, baby. Yeah.
South Korea.
Show me that face veto.
Now. If you get banned in League of Legends, you're done. That's it. It's over. You can't make a new account because you need to have you need to go and have an account that has, like, I'm trying to remember, like, it has this code, because there's this girl.
You wanna get the Pharaoh guy?
And so she was, like, fucking masters in League of Legends. And this is some, I'm just gonna say it, this is some Korean kitty streamer. What the fuck are you talking about, your masters in League? Why don't you play League on stream? She never would. She'd never play League on stream at all. And at the same time, she'd just sit around and bounce her titties around. And she was hot as shit. So, I tried to get her to come to America. I said, I'll even eat duck with you. And she's like, do you have duck? I don't want to eat a fucking duck. It's disgusting. I was willing to compromise so much. I was down bad, so bad. And nothing happened. It didn't work out, just like all the other ones. Okay? I'm just being honest. I was completely down bad. And so duck is delicious. A duck belongs in a pond. Okay? I don't want to. Okay? So not gonna.
Do we have a team? Like what?
Was she for
Yeah, I'm over here killing 2 people.
And so anyway, you guys know I don't talk about that stuff on my stream. And so just for multiple reasons. But anyway, so
I killed 2 of them.
that's how I know about this. You need to have an account and a code in order to do this. You do. And so a cow belongs in a field.